Hi, I'm Troy from the Fox. Thanks for checking out our video here for the 14th annual Mayflower Marathon on the South Side and Peninsula. Today we're on the South Side speaking with Danny Ayers of the Foodbank of Southeastern Virginia. We wanted to know, when someone does give, they may hear about the food bank and the great work that you do, but they may not know what sort of hard work you do here on site and how the food actually gets in everyone's hands. How does that happen here?
Right, well, it's a very involved process. Our job is to bring food in and get it back out into the community. But the way in which we do that is often very involved because we're feeding over 380,000 individuals every year. So it takes a very detailed process. The first stop is here in the sorting room, where food is donated and then is loaded up here in the middle of the room, where it's then inspected and made sure that it's safe and that no cans are damaged and that it's not past the point of where it can be consumed safely. And that's all done by volunteers. We have over 3,800 volunteers every year that help us in many different capacities. But sorting is a big role because we don't have any staff dedicated to do it. So the volunteers come in and each bin is labeled separately with a different food group. They have to inspect the can and they've been trained before they come into this room to do that. And then they distribute it in the various bins. And then those bins are taken back into the warehouse into a distribution area where our agencies, of which we have over 300, come in and literally shop for the food that they're going to take back to their agencies and serve to the hungry.
Well, Danny, thanks so much for telling us about the beginning of the process. Now, where thousands of people have to be fed, I notice you only have a handful of people here organizing things. What happens when the food gets into the warehouse?
Right, so the food has to be categorized so that we can identify it on the shelf. As we talked about, this food stays on the shelf for a very short amount of time. So we try and be really efficient about organization when it gets into the warehouse. So as you'll see here, we have different stickers on each box that help us to identify the food. For example, the green, I call this my least favorite. And that's because this is food we had to purchase.
Yeah.
Either we didn't have the donated product or we needed something outside of the donated product to kind of complement it and make it a more well-rounded distribution. So we don't want to just give carbs like potatoes or something. We want to make sure we have meats. So sometimes we have to supplement it with purchased product. That's the green sticker. The white sticker is my favorite.
Okay.
And that is because it's donated, right? So the stickers that are white represent product that has been given to us by either a manufacturer or it has been donated through food drives, but it has come in from the community and support. We have two major initiatives that serve the kids of Southeastern Virginia. One of them is the Kids Cafe program, and one of them is the backpack program. We keep that food stored right here along the side, and that's why you'll see some child-friendly packaging. A little bit farther along this aisle, you'll see the number 10 cans, those really large cans of food. The Kids Cafe program literally provides hot and healthy meals to kids and in after-school programs. So we literally partner with established after-school programs at like Boys and Girls Clubs, schools and community centers who already have sort of structured activities planned for the kids or homework help, basketball activities for them. And we're the food component. We literally bring and make sure that they have food. They have to have a commercial kitchen, and we're able to make sure that those kids have healthy meals at night.
All right, the tour of the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia continues. This is probably our shortest segment. We're in the freezer.
Right, well, we're in the refrigerator.
Okay.
The freezer is over here.
We're not in the freezer yet.
We're not in the freezer yet.
Are you sure we're not in the freezer yet?
Yeah.
It feels like we are.
I know, it does feel like we are, but the
Okay.
freezer, I can guarantee you, you would know, it is kept at -11 degrees and has to be checked every 15 minutes. So, you wouldn't be able to stand here and just talk to me if you were in the freezer, and I'll show you.
All right.
This is the freezer. We actually have one of the largest freezers in the state of Virginia for food banks.
Yeah.
We store food. Can you start feeling it?
Whoa, that's a breeze. I feel like I'm at Lambeau Field watching a Packers game.
Yeah, it's freezing. We actually store food for other food banks here at this facility and for our Eastern Shore branch. It's a very large freezer. So when you think about the freezer at home that you have, the little box at the top of your refrigerator, that is it right there, blown up.
All right, so if they're going to donate some frozen turkeys, you're ready.
We're ready. We're ready, and we're ready to move things aside and hold them on for people to have for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, we continue on our virtual tour here at the food bank. Our next stop is where they have to hand the food out. You get it, you separate it, you sort it. Now you have to get it in the hands of the thousands who need it. And where are we now?
Right, so we're in the distribution area of the food bank. This is where after the food is sorted and put into bins, it is then distributed to those agencies that I explained that are distributing food in communities throughout southeastern Virginia. The idea is that they know what their communities need, right? We don't want them taking items back to their community that they know are not going to be consumed. So it makes sense for them to come here and choose the items themselves.
Right.
They can also go on our website and place orders for food. They can call them in, they can fax them in, carrier pigeon. You know, they can do whatever is most convenient for them to be able to order food from us and tell us what they need. They literally come in the door, grab a cart, and come up and down the aisles, choosing the food that they would like to take back to their agency.
Well, it seems like a well-balanced selection here. I mean, you got different types of food. I noticed some bread over there. You have a refrigerated section as well. And, you know, what about some of those perishable items that maybe some businesses, other restaurants may have? And instead of just throwing it out, I mean, they can make a difference with that food as well, can't they?
Absolutely. And that's a great point. That it's obvious that on a regular basis we have restaurants and retailers who are preparing food, hot food, salads, whatever is being made that's considered perishable.
Right.
And often have to destroy that product if it's not sold. So instead of destroying that product and often paying for it to be destroyed, they can donate it to the food bank and we'll distribute it to the hungry. So it's a win-win situation. They don't have to spend the money to destroy it. We're able to take it and make sure it gets in the hands of the people that need it.
Well, Danny, you mentioned that there are a lot of distribution points for all the food that is given. Here we are at the map, and the food bank is, well, here.
Right.
And I'm seeing points all over this map. I mean, it's pretty widespread.
Right, right. So I'll tell you a little bit about what this looks like. The food that Mayflower Marathon brings in will help thousands, hundreds of thousands of people with their Thanksgiving meal. It is a vital food drive that makes it possible for so many people to enjoy their family and healthy meals at the holidays. So how do we get it out, right? All of these dots represent agencies, those partner agencies who are distributing food in various communities throughout our 3,500 square mile service area. The idea is someone lives out in Chesapeake, that they don't need to come all the way here to our food bank to get food. They should be able to go to an agency that's located right in their community that has picked up food from us and get it for their Thanksgiving meal. So it starts here and forms a sort of web of support out in the community and makes it possible for people who often, if are struggling with food, don't have the transportation to get to the food bank.
Well, our Mayflower Marathon, the 14th annual, is going to support the food bank on the peninsula and the south side. So please stop at one of our broadcasting points. Our sister station, FM99, will be at Pembroke Mall. We'll be on the peninsula broadcasting from the 19th through the 21st. You could give Thanksgiving items. You could give other food bank items. Look on our website for details of some of their top 10 items. And just think of Thanksgiving, some of the stuff that you would love. What would your family enjoy? That's what they need as well here. So Danny Ayers, thank you so much for the comprehensive view here at the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia. I mean, it's really amazing to watch the food come in the door, the massive distribution that you have to do with just a handful of volunteers going to feed thousands of people out there. So it's tremendous work, and we're pleased to be a part of it to help you out. But really, this is giving that needs to be given all year round. So when you want to give, come down to the Mayflower broadcast, and also think about the food bank all year round, because as you said, hunger doesn't take a break.